Here we are again. How do I train my mind to turn on my light? Hi, I'm Reverend Andrew Bozeman, and this is On the Wings of Your Mind. What I'd like to talk about today, I guess this is our third installment of this, and we're discussing how do I turn my mind on, how do I train my mind to turn on my light. Yesterday, we moved into intention and focused breathing as steps in training the mind. Soon we'll move into meditation. But before that we do that, let's talk a little bit about our culture and how it affects our mind. You know, we're surrounded by people, institutions, organizations, and governments of all types. You know, I guess all of them form the culture we live in and that we're influenced by. Culture is defined as the customary beliefs, social forms, and material traits of a racial, religious, or social group. Now, another definition of culture is the characteristic features of everyday existence, such as the way of life shared by people in a place or time. Now, our culture defines us, but our culture also confines us. It confines us in a certain way of thinking. It confines us into a certain way of being. The spiritual teacher, Caroline Myss, refers to this cultural influence as the tribal influence in tribal thinking. She calls it the first level of power, of the three levels of power. And it is this cultural power, this tribal power, that is, the tribe holds over us in ways that we can never fully be aware of, because so much of it is rooted in deep, deep, deep conditioning. That conditioning started when we were born. So when it comes to training our minds, which is the subject of the day this week, training our minds, it's important to realize that much of our thinking is not our own thinking, but the thinking that has been drilled to us all our lives. And for most of us, this conditioning, this tribal conditioning, is something we will never be able to break. But then we don't need to in order to live a normal life. Tribal conditioning is okay if you want to live a normal life. Please click on the thumbs up button below, and if you haven't already done so, please choose to subscribe. And remember, I'd love to hear your thoughts, comments, and questions using the chat box on the right side of the screen, your right, my left. And if you're looking at this in replay, please use the comment section below. So we're talking about tribal power here, tribal conditioning. We are the products of deep, deep conditioning. And the conditioning affects the way we think and the way we see the world. But at some point, for a few of us, we begin to question what it is we think and why. We begin to question the validity of some of the things we believe, some of the things we've been taught, and we begin to disagree with some of those. So this is one of the first signs that you are beginning to claim the second level of power, your individual power. Now, unfortunately, this kind of thinking, this thinking that begins to break away from the tribe, is dangerous thinking, and it can get you expelled from the tribe, and you can end up being alone and afraid. But when you do that, you are then beginning what Dr. Joseph Campbell described as the hero's journey. You're all alone, you're afraid, but you're also open to a new world that is opening before you. This is your pathway to the third level of power. It's called symbolic power. So yesterday we talked about the importance of intention. You must state your intention that you are ready to move forward to face the challenges of learning how to train your mind, of learning how to be on your own, of learning how to cut your own path, of learning how to elevate your vibration to the level where you are aligned with and open to the energy of infinite intelligence. Now, of course, at this level, you must be aware that you're actually not alone. You are not alone. Even though it appears you're alone, you are not alone. Otherwise, if you don't realize that, if you're not aware of that, you can be paralyzed with fear. So the big step is to understand that I am not in this alone, that I have help. That help is infinite intelligence. So here's where you begin to understand that you're being guided by infinite intelligence. Now, as I said at the end of yesterday's broadcast, your progress will not be linear. There will be setbacks. There will be regressions. There will be moments when you feel that you're getting nowhere and that you're wasting your time and you need to go back to the safety of the tribe, which is okay. You might even go back. I can remember I've gone back a couple of times. Yeah, it's a process. But no matter what you do, it's important to understand that once the process starts, it doesn't stop. It is going to continue. It's going to continue even if you're not fully aware of it. Even if you're not fully aware of it. So go back to the tribe and regroup if you must. But you're going to find that you no longer fit in and that you're going to have to move out again. So anyway, in that position, as you're beginning to understand that you're out there and that you're blazing a new trail and that you are becoming your own person, your own individual person, and you begin to grow spiritually and make contact with infinite intelligence and get to know who and what you really are, then you need to add something to your arsenal that is going to keep you going, a little tool that will enable you to click in when you get clicked out. Because as I say, you're going through some challenging circumstances. You're charging up your inner light. You're opening up your connection to infinite intelligence. And so you need to be able to understand what it is you're doing. What you're doing is, there is this verse that says, the love of God, the light of God enfolds me. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The peace of God now fills me. The power of God now heals me. Wherever I am, God is. Commit this verse to memory and repeat it often. It'll return you to a state of balance when you need it. You see, in the work of training your mind to take you to a high level, you have to disconnect from the tribal anchors that are holding you down. Anchors you don't even know are there until they yank you back. For example, deep-seated beliefs about revenge. Those are beliefs of the tribe, and that when we're talking, when we're in conversation, we can discount those. We could say we're above revenge. We're able to forgive as is the way to actually find love in your life, actually to learn to love yourself. You need to forgive yourself, and you need to forgive others around you who have hurt you. And that's part of our daily prayer. But when somebody actually does something to offend you, then it's not so easy to forgive. It's not so easy to discount it. That's because we get caught up in emotion raging up from our gut that will not be satisfied until we strike back. Do you know what they did to me? I've got to get them back. I've got to strike back. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The peace of God now fills me. The power of God now heals me. Wherever I am, God is. Don Miguel Ruiz, in his book, The Four Agreements, tells us, don't take anything personally. That's because when you take it personally, you're robbing yourself of your power. Your mind is no longer quiet. It is a raging turmoil. It is out of control. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God now enfolds me. The peace of God now fills me. The power of God now heals me. Wherever I am, God is. According to neuroscience, your brain is actually made up of 3 brains. The reptilian brain, the limbic brain, also known as the emotional brain, and the prefrontal cortex, which is also known as the rational brain. Now, when you take something personally, you turn off the rational brain right away and you drop into the emotional brain. And then when you take a step further and you want to go into physical retaliation, well, that's when you drop all the way down into the reptilian brain. The reptilian brain. That's where you express your lowest animal nature. The reptilian brain. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The peace of God now fills me. The power of God now heals me. Wherever I am, God is. Your most powerful state is the state of quiet mind. Meditation will take you there, and we will get you to meditation soon. But in times of stress, unless you are a very experienced meditator, very experienced, you're not going to be able to get into meditation when you're under stress. You're not going to be able to disconnect from the stressful situation and go into meditation. So this is a verse that you need as part of your tool chest that can take you back to quiet mind. Quiet mind. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The peace of God now fills me. The power of God now heals me. Wherever I am, God is. In quiet mind, you're connected to infinite intelligence. In quiet mind, your inner light vibrates above the level of the physical. In quiet mind, your God self is in charge. Your God self is in charge. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The peace of God now fills me. The power of God now heals me. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever I am, God is. Let's close with prayer. Thank you, Infinite Intelligence, for bringing all of us together in this life so that we may become spiritual warriors and join the work we have come here to do. Thank you, Infinite Intelligence, for bringing us into this space of awareness and a deeper understanding of ourselves and our relationship to life and infinite intelligence. Thank you for showing us who we really are. We open our minds and hearts to the truth of our being. We are the children of God. We are individualized expressions of infinite intelligence. And because we are part of the greater whole, we're beginning to understand our value to the continuity of life on this planet. As we become channels of your power, infinite intelligence, we can feel your presence within ourselves and within our lives more and more. We know that as we feel your presence within our lives every day, we will rise, because we are no longer cut off from you by being immersed in the darkness of fear, anger, and the pain of unforgiveness. So we are now restoring our connection through the grace of forgiveness, knowing that as we learn to forgive ourselves for the pain we have caused to ourselves, and as we learn to forgive those who have inflicted pain upon us, our connections will grow stronger, and our lives will grow happier and healthier and more prosperous. And for this, we are truly grateful. As above, so below. As within, so without. And so it is. Amen. Thank you for watching. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Remember to click on the thumbs up button below the video, and if you haven't already done so, please choose to subscribe. Remember, I'd love to hear your comments, thoughts, and questions. Just use the chat box on the right side of the screen, or if you're looking at this in replay, please use the comment section below. We'll get back to this tomorrow, learning more about the training of your mind, getting to that quiet place where you are in direct contact with infinite intelligence, where you are at your peak power. In the meantime, I'm Reverend Andrew Bozeman, and this has been on the wings of your mind.